Hi, welcome to the summary of Startup Project ER21-1288, Multi-Scale Evaluation of PFAS Thermal Destruction Requirements. This project was performed by employees of the United States Environmental Protection Agency, and as such, the following disclaimers apply. These views are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the views and policies of the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Any mention of trade names, manufacturers, and products does not imply an endorsement by the United States government or the U.S. EPA. The EPA and its employees do not endorse any commercial products, services, or enterprises. This startup project was a collaboration between researchers in the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's Office of Research and Development and a team at the University of Dayton Research Institute, also known as UDRI. The objective of this project was to help learn about the thermal destruction of PFAS. There is little data explaining what products of incomplete destruction or combustion may be formed during thermal treatment and what conditions will lead to the mineralization of PFAS, or the conversion of all the compounds, carbon-fluorine bonds, to carbon dioxide and hydrofluoric acid. The study also investigated if there is a good metric for determining if mineralization occurs and if other stable compounds may work as an indicator to help evaluate the destruction of PFAS. Both bench scale and pilot scale furnaces were used for this study. The tube furnace at UDRI was used to investigate perfluorocarbon incineration, while perfluorocarbons and the PFAS in aqueous film-forming foam, or AFFF, were investigated with the natural gas-fired pilot scale furnace, also known as the rainbow furnace due to its multiple colored paint job, that's located at EPA's RTP campus in North Carolina. Both the bench and pilot scale tests showed that most perfluorocarbons could be destroyed by 1,150 degrees Celsius, while the bench scale test showed large amounts of carbonyl difluoride formed as a PIC. The pilot scale system did not. This difference in the presence of PICs is likely due to the pilot scale system's higher water content, the difference in the surface area, and other parameters associated with the larger scale. With both the perfluorinated AFFF and the fluorotelomere-based AFFF, as the temperatures approached 1100 degrees Celsius, the concentration of PICs dropped below the method reported limits. The PFAS had high destruction efficiencies, and hexafluoroethane, a potential indicator gas, had high destruction efficiency as well. Both the perfluorinated legacy AFFF, the data shown in the top table, and the fluorotelomere-based AFFF, with the data shown in the bottom table, showed that PFAS could have high destruction efficiencies over 99%, but still have volatile fluorinated compounds emitted as PICs. The rainbow furnace results do not transfer directly to a full-scale system, since the results are from an idealized and highly controlled system, unlike normal real-world systems. Full-scale testing is needed to determine if a facility will be able to destroy PFAS or not. This study showed that the destruction efficiency of PFAS and fluorine mass balance don't tell the whole story and are not ideal metrics to evaluate a PFAS destruction technology. PFAS can be transformed into other compounds, so it is important to look for products of incomplete combustion or destruction when evaluating the mineralization of PFAS. At small scale, there is evidence that the injection of indicator gases, such as hexafluoroethane or tetrafluoromethane, that they may give an indication of the destruction capabilities of a thermal treatment system. But full-scale testing is needed to develop a correlation or determine if there is a correlation between the indicator gases destruction and the mineralization of PFAS. Since it was shown that as the scale increases, the performance in PICs can differ, it is important to perform full-scale tests to determine the efficacy of the system and to further develop the correlation between the indicator gases and the mineralization of PFAS. A test plan for the comprehensive evaluation of thermal treatment systems was laid out in Appendix A of the EPA's 2024 Interim Guidance for the Destruction and Disposal of PFAS. Testing using this plan will help evaluate full-scale incinerators and determine if the indicator gases may eventually perform as a PFAS surrogate. Thank you for your interest in our project. Have a great day.